I'm pretty sure you heard of this, right? I think it's great. Saw it twice in theaters and even enjoyed it more the second time. The animation and art direction in this movie is just spectacular, along with the score infused with classic Mario tunes. I've been listening to this on repeat for the past few days now. Even the character interactions, while surface level at best, are pretty enjoyable and kept me smiling throughout the whole film. But despite all that, there's one aspect of this movie that just fascinates me, and that it feels like stuff in this movie is like missing. Like there are a few scenes in this movie that feel like they're meant to go on longer or have much more to them, but they just don't. Like for example, there's a scene in the movie which it's not really a spoiler because the trailers already show it off. There's this moment where like Mario and Peach are having like a heart-to-heart moment with each other, and Peach like brings up her backstory, but it doesn't get brought up again after that point. Also, if you look in the background, you see that Toad is like thinking with his backpack, so I thought, since it was established earlier in the movie that Toad's like a pretty good cook, that we're gonna have like a campfire scene where everyone's like eating and then expressing their thoughts, but no, that doesn't happen. He just plays a flute near the end of the scene, and it's just like, it's over. Speaking of Toad, let's talk about him for a little bit. So when Mario first meets Toad, he gives off this vibe of like some sort of vagabond or like this adventurer, because he has like a backpack, he has a stick, and even his theme, like his leitmotif or his theme or whatever, is the Captain Toad theme from the Super Mario games.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Toad.
Mario?
And like that, coupled with the fact that he wants to like protect the princess, and like Princess Peach is like, oh, a brave Toad? It made me think like, oh, this is going to be Captain Toad, you know? But again, they don't really follow up on that. Even in like the ending of the movie, you don't see him or what he's doing, and it's just so weird. So I was thinking about all that and a bunch of other stuff, and it just reminded me of this one video I saw. And it was from Unexplained. They were talking about this article where Toad's actor Keegan-Michael Key talks about how he improvised a song for the movie. And he talked about this like only a few days after we got the first teaser in October of that year. So when I refreshed myself on like that information, when I went to go see the movie a second time, I was like looking out for that. And then when I got out of the second time, I realized like, that's not in the movie. They cut that from the movie. And that's not the only thing like I've realized, because other people have been going through like seeing like if stuff was cut, and they realized certain scenes from like the trailers, they're shortened in the movie. And it's just sort of like, why? Well, I think the obvious answer is like runtime. They really want the movie to be like around 90 minutes, so they were just like cutting things out probably. Which honestly makes me wonder if there were even more scenes in this we just didn't see that were like cut behind the scenes, and like maybe when the movie gets like a Blu-ray release, they'll have like deleted scenes and we can just look there and see like what was cut, or maybe if there's some director's cut or something like that. But going back to that Toad singing thing, it reminded me of this like plot leak, or I should say leaks, because there are actually a few of them, and these happened like in the spring of 2022 if I remember correctly. And while some of these were different, they also had a lot of similarities in terms of characters and like plot structure. I'm not going to go over everything from the leaks. I'm just going to talk about what I want to talk about, which is that in a lot of these early leaks, they mentioned that Toad was actually Captain Toad, which again, it lines up what they were trying to go for in the actual movie, but they just didn't. And then there's the aspect that this was like a pseudo-musical. Some of the leaks mention multiple different songs, and again, that kind of goes back into Toad having a bit of a musical number that was supposed to be in the final movie, but it just didn't get there. And I don't remember this other leak, but I think this other leak also mentioned that like Peach was originally going to have like some sort of character flaw, that she was like meant to be very powerful, but also she was like deeply insecure. I don't remember that leak. I need to go and find it, but it does seem like something I remember reading. Honestly, maybe someday in the future when I get around to it, I should probably like make a video talking about these leaks and like the whole history of the Mario movie in general, but I kind of want to take a break from those style of videos. Even though I love making them, they are very much taxing and intensive. A whole lot of work, a whole lot of research, but let's be honest, sometimes you don't want to do all of that for an entire video. So yeah, that's the end of the video, I guess. Just want to talk about this funny little thing I remembered and how it kind of led me to think about other things, and you know. And also, to be honest, I wanted to talk about the Mario movie in some sort of way. I thought about maybe doing a review, but I'm not super good at those yet, so this will do. Anyway, typical things: comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Bye.